All right, it is the 14th of March. We're here with our awesome students. So this is a reminder of what we talked about in the very beginning. The Stacy model is the bomb. It's the most important thing when you're coming newly into Agile to understand why Agile. And it's simple, right? You can either be in a simple zone working on predictive stuff that you can plan out to the max, or you could find yourself going a little bit more complicated, but still being able to use predictive methods until you hit full on complex and eventually full on anarchy, maybe on some projects. And that's where you need Agile. Agile is going to work best where you need to experiment and do things in iteration. So we've established that. Last time we met, we also talked about this framework, which I called the process group pentagon. It's really PMI's 5 process groups, 10 knowledge areas, but I just dressed it up and called it the process group pentagon. We talked about that. Now, regarding Agile, there's a question I always ask people. I'm like, what is Agile? And the right answer to it, I'm going to type it on the screen so that everyone remembers what Agile is. Agile is not a set of processes or tools, but there's one thing that you need before you use these tools that can help you in the world of Agile. The thing you need the most, and that is really what Agile is, it is a mindset. First and foremost, it's a mindset. If anyone says, what is Agile? Tell them it's a state of mind. It's a state of mind of the following things. Agility. Everyone has a plan until they're punched in the mouth. Then what good is your plan? Useless. And that's a quote from Mike Tyson. Agility is a mindset. You must have the mindset, I'm going to adapt. I'm going to evolve. I'm going to move. I'm going to pivot. As soon as I see the need to, I will pivot. As soon as I see the need to, I will move. Another thing about Agile, what it is customer focus, like hyper focused on your customer's competitive advantage. These are the hallmarks of Agile. Okay, so are there tools and techniques and methods that people could use like Jira or Confluence? Or are there frameworks like Scrum or Kanban or methods? Yes, there are, but that is not what Agile is primarily. Primarily, it is a mindset. So we need to have that in the back of our mind. When we understand it's a mindset and we're able to embrace the values, individuals and interactions, most important. That's value number one, the humans. And you look at the principles, the very first principle is a human-related principle. And it simply states our highest priority is to satisfy the customer. That's it. So going into your exam, you're going to be obsessed with customer satisfaction, adding value to the customer, helping the customer get to their optimum. Whatever that change that the customer is asking for, you're going to be laser focused on giving your customer value. Agile is also about adapting as an individual, not just as a company. So responding to change. When you take a look at the iron triangle, remember, in the world of Agile, we flip the iron triangle on its head and scope becomes flexible. We also talked about how in the world of Agile, we rely more on pulling work to ourselves than pushing work on people. We also talked about the fact that in Agile, we plan at various levels, strategy level, portfolio level, product level, release level, iteration level, and all the way down to the daily scrum, right? The day level, we're planning all throughout. Last time we met, we jumped into the world of Scrum and we began talking about what Scrum is. It's a lightweight, easy to understand framework. So you take that framework and you keep the framework intact, but you can add things to it. So when you're practicing Scrum, the idea is for you to use it in its entirety. Don't throw things out. Don't say, oh, that role, forget that. No, don't do that. Use it in its entirety. You're going to learn the purity of Scrum and you're going to get better and better. And when the time comes, you're going to be able to tailor it accordingly. But don't begin tailoring it today. Scrum is just one of the many frameworks in the world of Agile. First of all, Agile is a mindset. We have the principles and the values, and then we have ways that we can interpret what we know in the world of the manifesto to make it more pragmatic. So here's a little pie chart. When we put this together, Scrum was the leader. It's still the leader. You can see the big part of the pie is Scrum.